welcome to my channel. I'm Gina, and today I want to have you join me on a process video. I'm going to be finishing up my February and have pretty much finished it, but I have like a title page to do to note that it's February. And then currently it is March, and in the middle of March, and a lot is going on, but I have several pictures to go ahead and scrapbook. So, as you can see here in the center of my table, I have a beautiful picture that was taken by our daughter Aspen. And what I'd like to do with this picture today is go ahead and make it a title picture for my February layouts. And a lot happened in February. We had lots of stories to tell, but I have, I think, 3 main ones that I told. So let's get started. This is a picture printed at 8x10 on my Epson, and I am working in a 9x12 photo album. And so, as you can see, I'm in need of making sure when I do a full picture, large picture, I need to only print it 8x10. So I'm taking up as much space as possible, and I trimmed it, leaving that like little bottom part because I sort of like the effect it gives. It reminds me of a Polaroid, so a giant oversized Polaroid. And I'm taking the February stamp by the month from Ali Edwards. I belong to that subscription and I'm loving that. It gives me a lot of choices for my monthly layouts. And this picture, as I stated before, I love our sunrises. We just get to enjoy so many beautiful ones, and our daughter captured a really pretty one on the 27th, I think, of February. And I'm putting that title there and then putting a little sentiment underneath it. I use the one that says a little story about life. And again, this is just a title page to introduce my February layouts. And then putting the date, and I put the particular date, I believe it's the 27th of the month. And that was just a week after having to put our dog Beckham to sleep. And so I knew that even though it was going to be a tough month, which aren't part of my stories, it was definitely a reminder that the sun shines even when it goes down, and we have those tough times. So these chipboard pieces I absolutely love. That particular one I'm putting on says, bring on the love, and it's from the February chipboard pieces. I end up adding a couple more later in addition to a definition stamp in that white area, but I put that aside and am now getting started on my March layouts. This is actually part 1 of what I have intended, and this is sort of the beginning pieces of my title page for March, and then the beginning of my first page of layout where the stories will be told. And currently in this great big crazy part of our month, year, life, with everything going on with the current closures of school. I am a teacher, and so we are not at school currently. Everybody is pretty much homebound and everything is closed, and I know everyone is kind of dealing with the uncertainty and anxiety and worry. I'm finding this is bringing me a lot of joy and peace to have the time to do this right now, and definitely looking forward to having life back to normal and the world healthy again without this threat of this virus. But as you can see, I'm just kind of speedy through these pictures. Some I will use in this first part of the layout, and another will be saved for my second part of my March layout at the end of the month. But cutting these screenshots from my phone can be a little tricky. I actually, when I go to put them in the pocket page, realize they're not 3x4, but I do print these particular pictures at 3x4, and I print them out on a 4x6 sheet of photo paper, glossy photo paper on my Epson, and I just love my printer. I got that at the beginning of the year, and I'm really enjoying it. And it does 4x6, 5x7, 8x10, and all the sizes in between I can program it to. But unfortunately, it doesn't do that 9x12. And so we're creative with that, of course. But these, I have a bunch of just small pictures. And you will see at the end of this, it does not, I don't end up using some of those journal cards, but currently it's just walking through the process of placing my pictures and also choosing journal cards. I am working on building up my stash. I stated that in my last video, and my husband kind of shakes his head because I have to have all the journal cards, and I just love the subscriptions I'm currently getting because I think it's helping me to collect a little quicker than I would normally. So I love currently the Ali Edwards is my favorite, and also Felicity Jane. And of course, every day I learn about a new one that I just might have to have too. But here you see that I'm trimming those papers down and putting these 3x4 into their pockets and putting them in order. The very first one was my text string to my daughter, and the other one was her reply back. And finally get those put in and decide I kind of like that. So I bring out the chipboard next. I've learned just through watching a lot of inspirational scrapbookers how to use some of the repetitive pieces, and you sort of make it easy for yourself when you choose a certain specific embellishment to use and kind of run that through your spread, and chipboard pieces are a great way to do that. So I'm just finishing up looking at all my options for the chipboard pieces. The next thing I'm going to do is be going to my typewriter to type directly on one of my photos, and I'd never done it before, so I gave it a whirl, and it actually didn't turn out too bad. This is a journal that my dog Daisy ate, and I got a picture from my daughter. She sent it to me and showed me, so I wrote Daisy was here to sort of remind myself to crate her while we're gone because she likes to eat all of my office supplies. And I put that little chipboard that says UGG, very appropriate. The other thing I really love to use are these little stickers that I think they're called conversation, or they're just packed with words and of all different sorts. And that green one is from our March kit, and the black one I think is from a previous kit that I got, and they're packed with them. And now I'm just making a mess with pulling these pictures out, and I'm not ready to commit anything, and then I decide I just got to stick it down. So that's what I do. So I just stick another piece of chipboard below that. I learned layering 3 of these kind of word sentiments are a really great balance to your pictures. And that one says March looks like, and then I'm looking for the actual word this, and I found it. I was super excited. So it says a new season is here. March looks like this, and it shows my little budding perennials there. And then I found an appropriate one utilizing, I put a little UGG bubble on the picture of Daisy's chewed up journal. And this is something I learned from many scrapbookers, to just bump those little embellishments up to the edge and then cut them off, and really utilize those edges because it brings a lot of interest. So I have these journal cards down at the bottom, and that pocket is a 4x6. And so I'm finding that I want them to be secure in the pocket. And I kind of considered my options in terms of putting them into the pocket. I could have just put them on a pre-cut 4x6 journal card. But I find that the pockets get too thick because obviously I'm going to use the other side as well. So I just take a piece of washi and I just sew them together with washi tape. by taping that down and then trimming off the edges, and it makes for a really nice thin, picture. And then I can add, chipboard to it because, again, the thicker you go, the more bulky your pocket gets. So there I go, adding a little embellishment. That's a chipboard heart that says "So ready for the next season." And let's see, I also end up adding that little heart that says "Get outside." But I decide first to do my other 4x6 pocket with those other 3x4s. So kind of gives you some good options. I currently don't have the 3x3 pockets, which is something that I think I have ordered recently and I'm waiting for them to come. So I would have used that, but this is a great way to solve my problem. And where there's a problem and a will, there's a way to solve it. So I'm feeling really happy about this layout so far. And I am going to consider a little bit more use of those word stickers that I love. And I end up putting another group onto the little picture of my hellebores. And I do a little series with a green from the March kit, 2 greens and a black, and it says, the top one says "Time marches on. Seeking simplicity" is what I put on the black one, and then I just said "present." The third one says "present" on the bottom, and I just feel like that's currently definitely what's going on with the opportunity to be at home and just kind of drown yourself in what you enjoy doing. And then this particular card, you'll see me use that edge again of the heart. So I grab my tweezers and I am just placing that chipboard piece on the edge, just bumping that little thing right up there, and then I'm going to use my scissors to cut. I love using those tweezers. I've not had them forever, but currently I've used them more in the past couple months in placing small little stickers. It's really a great tool to use for that. So finally, I grab my roller stamp, and I am not at all done with this layout. I have to stamp that little date on the Bring On the Growth card, and then we'll be taking a short break. And when I come back to this layout, I have changed, journaled, and taken a big overnight break due to our refrigerator breaking down and having to go refrigerator shopping on this particular evening and wasn't able to finish. So there we are. Voila. I've changed my mind on several things on here. My journal card at the top, which says, if winter has the courage to turn into spring, who says I can bloom just the same? And that I thought just was fitting with the kind of week changing into what's going on. After the winter gloom, there is spring. So I've picked this card that says, I love the colors, first of all, of the whole March kit, the Stamp by the Month for March. And I'm using an old set of Stampin' Up! Stamps called Newsprint from 2004, but they are my favorite letter stamps. And so I've typed out sort of one word in the title of each of my stories I'm going to tell. And in a second, you're going to see I have grabbed a set of numbers that I've been wanting to use. And the numbers are from the January story kit called List. The theme was all about lists, and the numbers, I've been wanting to use them for so long, so this is perfect. And I'm relating those numbers to that journal card where I just stamped the names. Story 1 is going to be called Daisy Journals, and I'm going to be handwriting the word journals. And then the second story relates to Aspen, and I write the words Alaska CSA. Aspen, Alaska CSA is sort of the kind of topic for that little story I tell. And then finally, story 3 is about my blooms in my yard, and I just said blooms are here. So I'll do that in a few minutes with one of my brush pens, but I decided I wanted to use these really sweet little embellishments. They are fabric stickers, and you bought them as an add-on to the March Stamp by the Month kit, and so I popped that in there. I had determined that I was thinking I wanted to put words on that card, but just decided the simplicity of that little rainbow colored sticker was okay. And you can see here that I'm using one of my favorite pens. I can't say the name of it. It's like Tombow Fudisuki pen, but it's one of my favorite. It has like a hard brush tip, and I enjoy using that for journaling and other things. I love all the pens. So that wraps up this particular process video that I love making, and gives sort of some good close-up peeks to the beginning of this layout. I'm going to be adding story 4 and 5, and we'll do a short little video maybe for that as well, or show it in my flip through. But thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.